I'm under the steering wheel. What do you mean? Like, I just didn't understand. And she's like, oh, she's like, damn it. And she's like, I never quite understood. And she trained a good deal of people, but with each new trainee, she said that she would learn stuff too. She was like, it never really occurred to me that, like, you guys have to learn a whole new set of language. And she's like, okay. So, and then she literally explained the serpentine to me with a credit card and 2 butter knives. I kid you not. And that helped me understand the serpentine and why we do it, because you're dragging your ass.
Like the serpentine.
And now I love the serpentine. But I hated it at first when I was learning. Anyway, so after that time where we got into a little snit and I was pissed, literally she was mad at me because I was being a little shit. Not intending to be, but I was. But she still came out of the store and was like, here's a breakfast sandwich. You need to eat. Because she knew I was, number one, she knew me. She knew that if I get hangry, nothing good happens. And she knew that I had next to no money because we were still trying to, like, pay for the motel room that Maggie was in. And when you start, you're borrowing advances, and then it takes a little while to get on your feet. And she was like, nope, I don't want you to have to worry about paying for food. She's like, I'll feed you. And she did. She fed me. And she didn't get paid to do that. She didn't get paid to do that. So, anyway, so we're at this rest area, or this, pilot. It might have been a Flying J, whatever, Pi J in California. And I go back in because I see the homeless man with his dog, and I'm like, they don't have any bags of dog food. I looked. I had points. So I was like, I can't walk past this man and his dog without offering some food for the dog. So I got a couple of hot dogs, and the guy was sleeping. And he was sleeping so hard, I was worried. So I fed the dog one of the hot dogs, and I laid the other hot dog next to him, hoping that at the very least he would feed it to her. I didn't know that the dog was her at the time because she was laying down. But I go back to the truck, and I'm visibly upset. And Leah knows me, so she was like, what's going on? Because I just showered, and normally after a shower, I'm really, really freaking happy. But I wasn't. And I was like, there's this homeless guy with a dog. And she was like, oh. And I was like, it's cold and he has nothing. I mean, cold for California is not cold for Michigan, but it was still cold. And I'm like, and the dog has a blanket over him, and the man doesn't have anything but his jacket. And I'm like, it just shows me the make of a man when he covers his dog up with a blanket and he's cold. And he's visibly cold, but his dog has a blanket. And I'm like, I just wish I could do more for him. She was like, all right, come on. And she gathered up food and she took some kibble and some water and some juices. And she was like, all right, you're carrying these. I'm carrying these. Let's go. And I was like, and so we went over, and she said hi to the dog, and the guy woke up, and, that's just the type of thing she did. And she didn't think about it. She just did it. Not because she wanted an attaboy, or not because she was, like, trying, like, it didn't occur to her to not help. And, I know this video is long, and you guys don't even know Leah, but
you're gonna feel like they do now. In a good way.
But she was amazing. And, I believe that death doesn't end a relationship. I don't know what happens after this. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe Leah is at the pearly gates of heaven, and that's rad. But maybe there's nothing. And she is truly no longer anywhere. Maybe it's like Powder, the movie Powder, where her energy went everywhere. And that I like, because it kind of jives with how I feel like we can remember people, and how people can, you're kind of not really, so even if there's nothing after this, and that's, you know, that is what it is. It's what many people believe, and it makes sense. But if you think about it like that, and the only thing that's left of you are memories and ash, and what you've done. And number one, she was an organ donor, and somebody got her eyes, so a little bit of her lives on in that person. And no matter what, there's always going to be a hole in my heart in the shape of Leah Federley, because I did come to love her, and I did come to be one of her friends, and that was an honor and a privilege, and and she taught me what I know about trucking, with the exception of what Ellie's taught me. But even if nothing happens after this, and you know, is someone really dead? I mean, they are, but if you carry them along with you, then I feel like that's a really good way to honor someone. I feel like as long as she's in our hearts and in our thoughts, and you carry her along with you, I feel like that's a good thing. I don't know how to explain.
Your heart, I carry it in my heart.
What?
That's a poem by E.E. Cummings.
What did you say?
I said, I carry your heart, I carry it in my heart.
Yeah. I don't know that poem, but yeah. And I kind of feel like, I mean, I don't deal with death very well. Not now, and not even before.
Deals with death well.
But I feel like I'm starting to be able to accept death in a way. Like, well, selfishly, it sucks and it's not okay that she's gone, but ultimately she will always live on in my mind and in my memories and in my heart. And the way that Leah was, there's a lot of people that will remember and go on loving her. And so I feel like all of us carry a small piece of her forward, and all of us honor her by doing that. And that's how I can kind of make a little bit of peace with it. Although it's still such a sharp pain to me. But on my 1 year anniversary, and this is this is the end of it, I promise. On the 1 year anniversary of having my CDL, much like on my birthday, I usually call my mother because she did the work. On my 1 year anniversary, I called Alex, my recruiter from Jim Palmer, to thank her for everything. And I called Leah. And I had what Maggie has reminded me. I had a really good conversation with Leah where I said all of the things that I would have wanted to say. I said the thank yous. I said that I'm sorry for being such a little shit on your truck at times. I didn't understand what I understand now. And even now I don't understand it all. Obviously, I'm still learning a lot. But I understand enough to know that I was a little shit. I didn't mean to be, but I was. And I'm sorry for that. And we had a really good conversation. And I was lucky that I got to have that conversation with her because I didn't know that she was gonna pass away. But if I hadn't had that conversation, I don't know. I mean, I would have made do anyway. Like, I'm just really grateful that I got to say those things to her because I will always be grateful for having known Leah and for having been under her tutelage. And that's not just because of trucking. That's because of a lot of things. That's because of, she taught me a lot that I'll carry on beyond trucking. And I tend to collect role models in my life, and family and people. And she was one of the people that I was lucky enough to have collected. That I was, she, yeah. I don't know. I could talk for 5 hours and not do her justice. But this is my memorial to Leah Federley. This is my thank you to Leah Federley. This is my goodbye to Leah Federley. And I'm gonna make another video about, like, right now I want to cry and I feel like I could cry, but I have constipated tear ducts because of the testosterone. It's a real thing. And so I can't cry even though I want to. I don't think I'll ever not miss Leah. So I'm gonna carry her along with me. And that I'll have to do. Do you want to add anything before I end it? I'm not sorry for such a long video because the least I could do is honor Leah in the way that I honor people. And but I do thank you guys for being tolerant and for allowing me to go on and process. If you are willing, and if you've made it this far through, I would love for you to take a moment today and to call someone that you love or that you care about, or someone that helped you, or reach out to someone and tell them that you're, tell them thank you, tell them I'm sorry, tell them I love you. If there's something that you haven't said to someone, and you... There's a guy standing right over there. And he was just like looking at me as I'm vlogging, and I'm just like, that was so awkward, to my left.
Oh.
So, reach out to someone that you love and thank them. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you're sorry. Whatever the message needs to be. And, if you're a person that sends positive energy, or if you're a person that prays, send some prayers or some loving energy to the immediate family of Leah Federley, because I know that they're hurting. She's got some grandbabies that she cherished and adored. And Abby, send Abby some prayers and some...
You didn't say what happened with Abby.
Huh?
You didn't say what happened with Abby.
That's true. Abby is with Leah's son and daughter-in-law and some of her grandbabies in Battle Mountain, Nevada. And if you're not a person who prays, that's okay. Because there, in the words of Leah, if you've ever had someone give you the gift of knowledge, love, or anything, you don't even have to make a big thing out of it. If you're not a person that does that, you could pay it forward. You could just do something randomly nice, do something kind for someone unexpectedly without any hopes of anything in return. Because that was the type of woman that Leah Federley was. And, yeah. The world's a little less bright without her in it. So, we're going to end this. If nobody's told you today, you are wonderful and special, and you are important, and you matter, and I love you, and I'm grateful for you, and yeah. Much love. Peace out.